This episode of Muddy River Gems is brought to you by Dot Foods.
I think what it comes down to is the culture and the people.
Our culture here at Dot is like no other. I've never experienced anything like what I've lived with for the last 12 years.
Dot is very diverse.
It is truly a family-owned business, but it is a family inside and out.
You always feel like you matter and you play a big hand in the pot.
There's so many opportunities to make a difference at Dot and really contribute to the success of the organization.
After 103 years in business, 5 generations, they're the only cobblers left. That's on this edition of Muddy River Gems, brought to you by Dot Foods. Jennifer Myers, you probably remember as a little girl in Quincy and elsewhere too, there were a lot of shoe repair places, right?
There were.
People didn't throw their shoes away. Boy, when they needed a sole or a heel, they went and they got it fixed. So, I mean, your family was in that business.
Yes.
And your family gradually saw all of these other boot and shoe repair places go out of business. And here you all still are, right? That's got to feel pretty cool.
It does feel really cool. We feel really blessed that people still come to us and trust us with their stuff and to fix it up for them.
Yeah, we're going to show some of that later in the program because it's a pretty large part of what you do here.
It is a very large part.
I mean, it's not quite what the new inventory is, but it's still a very important thing.
It's still an important part, and it's an important part with our business also with what we sell, because we can also translate that back to that department, and they can help us fit boots also. So it comes in handy in many different ways.
Yeah, now that's not the only important thing about Boyer's, that it's the only boot and shoe repair place around, but it's also 103 years old, and now you are the 4th generation, and your offspring and nieces and nephews are the 5th generation, and they're involved in it, so it's 5 generations of Boyer's, right?
Yep.
Well, that's another interesting thing. Okay, so we're gonna interview your dad, who is the Slim that everybody knows about from his commercials, and maybe your niece and your brother. And we'll see who else, one of the Boyers pop up.
Yeah.
But first, show me through the place.
Sure,
okay, let's go this way.
absolutely.
What do we see
So
as we go by?
I carry jewelry, I carry buckles, bolo ties, and then we still carry quite a bit of what we call Western wear, which is more of a crossover type stuff anymore. It's more modern than what it used to be.
Well, you know, country Western music's the same way. It's kind of crossover now, isn't it? So
you see a lot more ball caps than you do cowboy hats anymore, right?
Yeah, but still the Western look is very popular.
It is.
And you know, I'm surprised you have as much as you do, since you're basically a footwear company.
Yeah.
But why not? You got the room, right?
That's right. And you know, everybody wears clothes.
That's right, we hope.
That's right, hopefully.
Okay, but still, the basis of your business is the good old-fashioned either work boots or cowboy boots, right? I mean, that's still probably the large portion of what you do. Tell us about the steel-toed or the hard-toed boots. Or why are they so important, and why do you have such a following there?
Well, Quincy is a town of manufacturing, so we have a lot of manufacturers in Quincy and the surrounding areas, and those people that work at those places need to have boots that are going to protect their feet. So that's what these provide, is protection for them.
Now, and I assume these are expensive. Well, I'm looking at one now right here, $189.89. So they're expensive because they have to be really tough, and you would hope then that they would last a long time. If I'm spending $189 for a pair of boots, I'm not going to throw it away because the sole wears out.
Right, absolutely. Now, when wearing these boots in the situations that they're wearing them in, they're obviously a lot harder on boots than what we are every day.
Yeah.
So the work boots like this don't last like what a pair of Western boots do, or a pair of dress shoes would. But yes,
They wear them out sooner, is what
They
you're
do,
saying. Okay.
yes. Yeah. They put them under some pretty crazy conditions.
Yeah, well, sure. They're dropping heavy stuff on it all the time.
Absolutely.
Now, over here, we're looking at, those are specialty boots there, but cowboy boots mostly over here.
Yeah, this should be my whole area of my cowboy boots. These
Wow.
are all the different styles that we carry from a lot of popular companies like Ariat and Tony Lama, to name a few.
I used to
do
have a
lot with
pair of
Durango.
Justins, and I notice you have Justins as well.
We do, absolutely.
Yeah.
We carry most of the top companies. There's a few we don't carry, but we are a small store.
No, wait, actually, well, I guess you are, but it doesn't look small to me. It looks like your inventory. In fact, we're going to see your inventory, and it will amaze viewers how
it's
many
a lot back there, yeah.
boxes of boots you've got down
Everybody's
there.
always surprised how much we've got
Oh
packed
my
in back
goodness!
there.
Of course, the hats too.
Yep.
I'll bet you the hats are a good profit center, aren't they? Because
Yeah.
I would think there's a good markup on hats.
That's a pretty decent
Yeah,
one.
and you don't have to repair those.
You
I mean,
don't.
those are,
Although we do.
Do
we
you
do
really?
also repair hats. We take and we replace hat bands, or we replace the liners on the inside
okay,
of them.
Sweat through these things, right?
Sweat through these things,
Yeah.
and then the felt hats have a silk liner in there. We can replace those. We also clean them and reshape them.
Well, I'll be
so
darned, that's interesting.
my dad used to say that we can fix anything but the kitchen sink, and then somebody came in and wanted us to build him a leather strap for underneath their kitchen sink. So now he can't say that anymore.
So now
either.
you took care of that too, didn't you? Okay, let's walk this way because
All
there's a
right.
lot more to the store than we're seeing right now. This is the new inventory,
This is.
and and of course you get, wow, knives.
We carry some
all kinds of
giftware. We've
stuff.
got knives and wallets,
and
ball caps.
and we got Slim.
We got Slim here. Look at this. He watches over the store for us when we can't be here.
Yeah, we're gonna meet Slim a little bit later. It doesn't look exactly like Slim, but it's a pretty good.
Well,
likeness,
he's
isn't
sleepy.
it? He's okay. And what's okay? Now this is now I'm kind
So
of
this
noticing.
is my women's section
I was gonna say
over
it
here.
looks like this is the women's
This
section.
is the women's section. So I've got clothing for women.
You do the buying, right?
I do the buying, yes.
So how do you figure out what the men are after and what the women are after? I mean, it seems like it's two different sort of fields of study in some way.
It is. You kind of have to research, and we run reports on what's selling and what's not selling. And then our salesmen that come in and sell us the products really are helpful in what they have been selling and what the new trends are for the year. But it's just paying attention to what's going on and kind of doing a little bit of research on it.
Female cowboy boots, and we're looking at a lot of them there.
Yep.
Is there a greater or lesser demand for those lately then? I mean, is it just the look, or is that for work as well?
No, it's the women's Western is definitely for work. We carry a lot of the fashion women's boots anymore. We still have the basic Western that people want to ride in, or casuals that they want to just wear out every day. But we carry a little bit of everything when it comes to that. I've got some price point stuff and some really expensive stuff.
And the ladies, would they make up, what, maybe a third
I
of
would
your
say probably
clientele?
about a third, yeah.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. And then I also carry a full line of children's boots.
Let's walk down that way.
I carry infant up to youth in my children's boots here. And then we've got a few little
Now, you love
cute
selling
things.
those because the kids outgrow them, right?
They do.
And then they have to come back in a couple of years and buy another pair.
We try to get them to buy them just a little bit big so they'll last a little longer, because we know
right.
how quickly kids' feet grow.
And you don't end up repairing a lot of these because unless they're hand-me-downs, the kids aren't going to wear them that
they
long,
wear through
right?
them pretty quickly. Kids are hard on boots.
That's right. Okay, let's go this way because I really want to see. You're going to a large part of what you do is repair.
We do,
like
yes.
we were talking. I mean, we call them cobblers.
Yep.
There's still people around that repair. I've got a pair of boots I got for $200, and I want new soles and I want new heels.
Absolutely.
I got a hole in it. I don't want to have to buy a new pair of boots.
That's right.
So this is what you're doing back here.
That's
Breeze
right.
us through there.
Absolutely. So where we do our hat stretching here. This is where she does all of the garment work. So coats, she puts zippers in coats, or
so it's
patches
not all
things.
leather, not just leather
It's
items.
not just leather items. No, we replace zippers and jeans and patch jeans, and do all of that kind of stuff
This looks
also.
like a boat cover,
This
and
is
that
a
would
boat
take a
cover
heavy-duty
or
sewing
a tent.
machine, wouldn't
Yeah,
it,
we
to
do
that?
a lot of stuff like that too. People bring it in on their off days, and we take care of that.
Okay, and
This is our mending department. This is where she does anything that would be done to, say, a backpack, or a purse strap is broken, or a shoe needs new Velcro on it. So yeah, she does all of that kind of stuff.
Okay, so no job's
there.
too small. If
No
you're talking
job
about
is
new
too
Velcro
small.
on
We
a
fixed
shoe.
watch bands. We've done some very tiny stuff. So for sure, we don't just fix shoes.
Yeah.
do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and it doesn't just have to be leather, although that's mostly what you do.
That's right, yeah.
And I know it's a golf bag. What's going on? I mean, they didn't even repair that, huh?
So more than likely, we've got a rip here. More than likely, we're going to patch that up. And I would say there's probably a bad slider on there somewhere. Yep, there it is. That's the one. We're going to have to replace that so they can use that pocket again.
Okay. And we're stretching shoes here.
Yep.
And we're going to come back and see how that's done.
Yep, he's going to show you that.
He's making belts there.
He is making belts.
We're going to see how that's done.
Yep.
And all of this equipment looks like it's been around a long time.
Some of it has been, yes.
Okay, repair department. We're coming back. Now we're heading to new shoe inventory now.
New shoe inventory here. All of my safety toe inventory stays upstairs. Makes it a little easier to get to.
And this is where we are right now. We're upstairs.
This is where we are right now. My women's and men's safety toe material. And my extra stock of hats.
Okay, then we come to an end here, and this is remarkable. Have you ever counted the pairs of boots and shoes that you have up here?
I have a computer that does it for me.
It's got to be in the thousands.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, wow.
It is. Yes.
Okay, one other thing I want to see before we leave this part of the store. Let's go outside. You've got a mobile unit that you take around to factories that may need hard-toed shoes,
Absolutely,
right?
yes.
Let's go there.
Okay, check it out.
Okay, that's the secret exit, right?
That is the secret exit.
And it's like a mobile, it's like a...
It is a store on wheels.
Yeah, a mobile...
Yep. We have a full display area in the back.
Shoe-mobile.
And she actually has a little waiting area where people can sit down and try on shoes.
Now this goes out to factories?
It does go out to factories, it does, yep. We've got it loaded up with a lot of safety toe boots.
And all safety toe.
All
I mean, you don't
safety
mess
toe.
around with the rest of the inventory because you don't have that much room, right?
Yeah.
Give me an example of a factory you might drive to. I mean, outside of Quincy, do you go outside
We
of
go
Quincy?
outside of Quincy. We go to Dot Foods.
Oh, man, thousands of feet there.
Yeah, thousands of feet there. Yeah, we go to a lot of the different industries here in town. Either she takes the truck there, or we have a lot of people come into the store here. So it works out. For the people that can't get to the store, this is a great option for them.
Okay. Well, listen, Jennifer, thank you so much. Now, we've got members of your family now to talk to. We've got a lot of history to uncover because in 103 years, a lot has happened between 5 generations. So we're going to talk to your dad, Slim, about that and some other members of your family. But thank you.
Thank you.
Greg Boyer, as a young man, you decided to go into the shoe repair business. Your grandfather and your father were already in it, right?
Yep.
And you decided, nah, I know you're Slim right now. I got to call you Slim.
Yep.
And this is a character that you have created to draw, for advertise your business. So Slim, tell me how you developed this character that everybody has seen on television.
Hey, this is Slim from Boyer's Boot and Shoe, or it's Boyer's Boots or nothing.
Okay, and what would you usually wear? What would you normally be wearing?
Long red underwear and a barrel, because it's boots or nothing.
Okay, and what does your dad think about this character when he first heard you talking about being Slim?
I don't think I ever asked him.
And he never gave you the opinion.
But
So he didn't say...
somebody called him and complain because Slim was singing on the radio and they didn't like his singing, and for good reason.
Oh.
And he defended me to the max.
Well, he probably thought, I mean, he probably, I don't know, did you get the impression he thought Slim was an advantage for the business? Or?
Oh, it definitely was, yeah. It was a lot of fun. He enjoyed it. Yeah. He enjoyed it very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't quite get dressed up as Slim quite as much as you used to, but we appreciate you doing that for us today.
Yep.
Okay. Now let's talk about the serious part of this. I mentioned that you had joined your grandfather and your dad in the business. And, what did you...
Put Slim away.
Okay, put Slim away. Yeah, I like Slim, though. I get a hoot out of Slim.
He's fun.
You joined your grandpa and your dad. They were both in the business when you joined the business, right?
No, my grandfather sold the business in 1956. Year after I was born. I was born in 55, so I didn't work with my grandfather.
Okay, so he sold it to whom?
My dad.
Okay,
Ralph
so your
Boyer.
dad was the sole owner then at that time. Then you came along, and at what point did you decide to join the business?
My dad started in business when he was 9 years old. I started when I was 10 years old, and my son Matt, who we'll talk to you soon, started when he was 11 years old.
Wow.
And Jennifer started, what time did you start? 10 o'clock? 10 o'clock.
10 years old.
10 years old, yeah.
So when you started it...
I got paid at 10.
Oh, okay. She was
Started
working when
at
she
8,
was
you get
8.
paid at 10.
But when you started doing what? Fixing shoes, repairing shoes.
Yeah, we didn't have all the merchandise we have now, so I started by repairing shoes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We noticed earlier in the program that back then there were lots of shoe repair places, lots of cobblers. In fact, we have a picture here of a reunion of cobblers just in Quincy, and there's a whole row of them, weren't there?
Yeah, it was big business. Everybody had their shoes repaired. They passed them down from generation to generation.
Mm-hmm.
So one pair of shoes would go through 6 kids or so.
Mm-hmm.
So you kept things recycled.
Yeah.
I didn't call it that then, but it's the same thing.
Back when Grandpa and Dad owned the business together, they were over on 12th and State.
That's right.
And they actually had 2 locations over there, didn't they? They moved from one to the other?
Across the street, yeah. It used to be where the Historical Society is at now. Well, what John Wood Mansion, I'm sorry, was there, and there was a building on the corner in front of the John Wood Mansion, and they tore that down when we moved out here, actually. So.
And they were just in the repair business at that time?
Yeah, they sold a few things, but not much.
When your dad was alive and in the business, you mentioned he was still just repairing. He didn't have new boot inventory, did he?
My dad did, yeah.
Did he?
Started when I was in high school. Started with the first pair of Tony Lama boots, the first thing we sold. And my dad and I did that business then. We went through Urban Cowboy, which we really threw our business to a lot more Western wear. Urban Cowboy everybody was buying cowboy hats and hats with feathers in them.
Mm-hmm. So that was in the 70s,
yeah,
wasn't it?
So we jumped on that bandwagon and moved out here in the middle of that episode.
Yeah, and when you say out here, now we're in the 400 block of North 36th Street.
Yeah.
And when you bought this place, it was an arcade of some kind, I guess.
Yeah, pinball arcade and a miniature golf course. Mm-hmm. We ran the miniature golf course for 11 years.
And then you added on. So you were here
10 years later. We added on, and doubled the size of the business. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we just took a look at your inventory space, and it's pretty remarkable. There's a lot there.
I think it's like 7,000 pair of boots we have altogether.
I'd be surprised if it's not more. I'm really not kidding.
Yeah.
You look around and all the way up to the ceiling, and nothing but boots.
In the basement and upstairs too, both. Yeah.
Now you decided, and this would have been your decision probably alone at some point, to continue in the shoe and boot repair business. Everybody else got out. How did you make that decision?
It's what we did. It's in our blood.
And the business was there. I mean, people continued to send you items to repair. Huh? Yeah, you're tearing up on me because it's in your blood, right? Yeah. It is emotional because it's 103 years of 5 generations. And I would suspect that it would be an emotional tie-in for you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say? Slim?
Slim's easier.
Slim's easier. Yeah. Well, listen, we're going to get a chance to talk to your family, and we already have. Jennifer's already talked to us, and Matt's going to take us through the repair process, and I think one of your granddaughters is going to show up and introduce us to
5th
TikTok.
Generation. Yeah. She's 5th generation. Yeah.
Okay. Greg, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We'll be back with more from Boyers on Muddy River Gems, brought to you by Dot Foods.
From our trucks to their lunch trays, to your local hospital, to your favorite pub, and to your kitchen table. For more than 60 years, Dot Foods and Dot Transportation have been stocking the shelves of your hometown. Sure, we've grown a lot, but at our core, we're still small-town, family-run businesses that care about our communities and the people who keep us running. Join the Dot family today and be part of something bigger.
Why work at Dot?
You could list out individual qualities forever.
There's a lot of opportunities. They take care of the employees, they take care of the community.
So our pay, our benefits, it's competitive. Time off, tons of flexibility.
They're willing to work with you to help you advance.
Well, Matt, as I recall, Many of your family members joined the business at about the age of 10, and that's how old you were, right?
Yes.
Didn't you feel like, no, I ought to be out playing baseball, or I ought to be doing this, or I ought to be doing that when you're 10 years old? But you were learning how to fix shoes.
Well, I wanted to be out doing that kind of stuff, but my dad would bring me to work when he came to work on Saturdays and have me do stuff in here, which it was a good thing.
You know, you proved yourself pretty early, though, because I think you said you started sweeping floors, but it wasn't very long before he found out that you had some abilities, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Started helping putting on heels and gluing up heels, and worked into grinding around in them and finishing them up.
What you know, I can't help but notice what's going on. What's he doing here?
We're making belts.
Oh.
He's splitting the leather so that so they bend a little easier. It's really thick through here, so we split it a little bit so it'll bend a little easier and be able to snap it easier.
Okay. And that's a leather strap, huh?
Yeah, leather strap, and that's a splitter.
Okay.
Just roll it through it, and it'll split the back of it, and then you peel the back off of there.
Okay. So the holes he already drilled those holes, or it comes that way?
It's a punch. It punches through them.
Okay.
Yeah, they come like that.
All right. Let's go down the line here a little bit and see where. Then he's going to move these that have been slotted, or I'm not sure what you called that. They've been
slotted. Yeah.
Slotted. Okay.
And then we put snaps in them with a machine here.
Now these are all the same size, so if you have a 32-inch waist or a 38-inch waist, you'll find a hole that you can find that will work for you, right? So these will all come out the same size?
They're all different sizes because a hide's different from the edge to the center. It's going to be either longer or shorter, so each one is actually a different length.
Okay.
Coming off the hide.
And he's going to make belts all day long. How many belts do you sell? I mean, well, I guess for Father's Day you really had a day, didn't you?
We sell a lot of them, and being that we make them, they really like them. So, and it's a water buffalo hide, so it wears really good.
Water buffalo, okay. So it'll stand the weather for a long time.
Yeah.
And show me the buckle, or the buckle that'll go on it.
It's a roller buckle.
Okay. And that's real plain, and it's very popular. Will they stay? Yeah. And will you dye them, or will they all be black?
These all be black. I've got like 3 different colors: the brown and the tan.
But these have already been dyed. These will stay black.
They will stay black, yes.
Now I'm noticing you got these foot molds around here. A large part of what you do is, I'm probably in the way here, but you're in the process of stretching a pair of shoes.
We can stretch a pair of shoes, make them fit your feet a little better. Nobody's foot's the same, so.
So if I buy, is this a new pair of shoes?
It's a new pair of shoes.
If I buy a new pair of shoes and it doesn't quite fit me the way I want, and I need it stretched, you could stretch it up, maybe a half to a full size, maybe?
Half size usually. Full size is pushing it, but we'll definitely try. A lot of times I can make it wider in the front so it matches your foot a little better. So even if it is a little bit short, we can do that.
Okay, so you're making it
wider.
Yeah. You're making it wider?
Wider and longer.
And longer.
Yeah.
And you got it wet, so that's what leather does. Once it's wet, it can stretch a little bit.
It'll stretch it good, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And does it ever happen that it starts to pop out around the edges?
It does. Sometimes I got to repair that.
Yeah. Well,
you're
the right guy.
Yeah.
You're the right guy for that. Okay, let's come in here a little bit.
Fix it for sure.
What do these need?
These actually are done. They've got full soles on them, so they're over here getting cleaned up, getting looked good before they get put on the shelf for the customer to pick up.
Are these steel-toed, or are these just...
These are not a steel-toed,
okay,
no.
all right. So somebody just really liked these boots, couldn't bear to part with them, had a new sole put on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
that
they're
happens
like
all the time.
$300 anymore for a pair of boots. I mean, for $100 you can get them repaired.
Yeah. Yeah, and they'll last you another 10 years probably.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
This guy he scuffed all his toe off. So I re-put some pieces back on there, and I'm putting a tip on there so he doesn't do it anymore. And yeah.
This one you're not quite finished with?
Not quite finished. So we'll just put the tip on there.
What do you do? Just nail it down?
I just nail it down.
Okay, I want to see that.
Sorry, I'm covering it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of just just tap it until it forms to it.
And that's called a tip?
That's called a toe tip, yeah.
Toe tip, okay. All right, well, that's another, that'll last 10 years too.
Yeah.
Okay, now, I've noticed something's working here, and I'm not sure what you're doing here, but maybe you can show us.
We've pulled off the old sole. We put a new one on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll press them on.
What's this machine called?
It's called a press.
A press, okay. That's easy enough to remember. Now those are either going to go up or something's going to come down to press those. Oh, here it comes. That's a lot of pressure, isn't it? If you got your finger caught in there, you probably wouldn't get it back out. Now, is that pounds per square?
Yes.
Per square inch. Okay, we're up to
Easy about 40.
about 40.
Yep.
And that's not applying any heat or anything, just pressure.
Just pressure.
Okay, let's do the back then. Here it comes. That's up to 25 and it's still climbing. Wow. Now why did you turn that off?
So you wouldn't have to listen to it.
Okay, I'm following you. So what's this machine do?
It's just going to press it together where the welt is and make sure it's good and stuck around there so I can stitch it. And then we'll move on to the cutter and actually cut around it.
Wow, that looks easy, but I'm sure it's not.
It's easy to cut into the welt.
And what's that material that you're cutting?
It's leather.
It's leather.
It's leather.
Wow.
Really thick piece of leather.
Mm-hmm. Can I?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to wear out for a long time either, and it's not very flexible. Okay. And now what happens next?
I'm going to trim it. Wet the sole down really good.
Mm-hmm.
So the needle will go through it a little easier.
Okay, so now you're going to sew. Now you're actually going to sew that on there now.
Yes.
Okay. So pressing wasn't enough. You need to actually sew it on too.
Yeah, we'll stitch on there. It holds on a lot better. Mm-hmm. Then it just looks really nice too.
This whole machine, this has got a history, doesn't it? This has been here a long time.
Oh yeah.
And they don't make them anymore.
I've been cleaning this machine since I was 10.
It might last longer than you. You never know.
It gets dirty fast because it's got oil on it, and all the dust from the machines dirties it up pretty quick.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Have you ever got your finger stuck in between that needle and
no,
that?
no.
Oh my goodness.
That wouldn't be good.
No, that wouldn't be good at all. Now we're good to go?
And then we nail it. And then we'll put a base on there, put a heel on the base, and then grind it all around, finish it out real nice, shine them up. Yeah.
Does this stay this color?
I'll probably make this one black. and the bottoms will be brown.
And how do you do that? Do it with shoe polish
We
or
do it with
dye
an
or
ink.
an ink?
We have a shoe ink that goes on there.
And again, you have to be really careful. You don't want to mess up your work. Yeah, that's going to look really good. Wow. You know, I didn't ask this question, and you may not know the answer, but this shoe repair part is essentially what was the heart of the business. It's not the biggest part of the business anymore, but the heart of the business. Is it like 15% of the business you all do, or is it less and more than that?
Up from that, probably.
Up from that?
I'm saying yes.
Oh, okay, that's a yes.
About
okay.
15%.
15%, yes,
Well,
you're right.
Okay. Well, you know, it just goes to show now that you're the only really people in West Central Illinois probably that are doing this. It's a great draw for the rest of your business because people know that if they bought boots here, they can get them fixed here as well, which is kind of it's something that nobody else can offer.
Yeah. And the stretching them, I mean, yeah, be able to fit them in a boot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they're rubbing on their toes a little bit when we're trying them on, I can fix that real quick while they wait.
Mm-hmm.
Makes it easy, yeah. Breaking them in, seams bothering you, I can fix it.
You came here right out of high school to work full time?
Full time.
Yeah. Did you ever want to do anything else?
No, not really. Yeah.
You're good at it? And you
I'm
like
good
it?
at it.
Okay.
I like doing it.
Matt, thank you.
You're welcome.
Zoe, we made a big mention many times through this program about the fact that there are 5 generations involved in the business. You're generation 5.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
and
right.
And you have sort of the responsibilities that a young person might understand that the older folks might not understand, and that is what, social media?
Yep.
Internet relations, those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
Describe to me what you do here.
So I film videos for all the social media on our websites, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, all that. Also, I write blog posts for our website. I pack orders. I answer all the emails for people who are asking for quotes for their boots and asking if they can be fixed. So I do all that.
Mm-hmm. You say you shoot videos. What do you use to shoot videos with?
So
do you
I
use your
just
phone?
use my iPhone.
Do you? And the quality's pretty good, huh?
It is pretty good. I actually got a new phone because the quality was kind of bad at first. So I was borrowing my grandma's phone because my iPhone at the time wasn't very good. So I was like, oh, can I borrow your guys' phones? You're better than mine. So I got a new phone and it has pretty good quality, and that's just what I use usually. It's quick. We used to use like a professional camera, but it's much quicker just to use the iPhone, honestly. I can edit it quicker and get it out a lot faster.
You mentioned TikTok, and your grandpa was telling me, he told me, he said, I don't know much about TikTok, but I will tell you this. She posted this video, it went viral, and we were busy. Tell me about that video.
So I hadn't done much on TikTok besides a video during 2020 of Slim dancing, and that didn't do too well. Then my uncle was like, you should try doing some of the repair stuff, and I was like, okay, yeah, I did a little bit of that on YouTube, but it's been a while. I filmed one of our cobblers resoling a pair of Red Wings, and just did kind of a quick edit, put it all together and posted it on there. Woke up the next morning and there was like thousands of views and likes and comments. It was crazy. It blew up overnight. And we started getting more followers, and it was absolutely insane. People asking, oh, how do I send my boots to you? How do I send my boots to you? And we were like, oh gosh, we didn't expect it to blow up like that right overnight. It was really exciting to watch.
Well, how many followers do you think you had?
At that point, when we first started, we just had like 20, but overnight we started getting hundreds, and now we have 92,000.
No kidding?
Yeah.
On various platforms?
So that's just on TikTok.
Wow.
I started posting repair videos and other stuff on Instagram, and now we have 6,000 on Instagram. We started at 200, and just in the last 3 months it went up to 6,000. And of course on Facebook, I think we have 2,000 as well.
So these people are wanting you, they're wanting you to repair their shoes, boots, etc., right?
Yep.
So how does that happen? Do they just send them to you?
So we have a little area on our website where they can kind of click and request a quote. They can send a picture and explain what the problem is. Once I get the email, in about a week I'd say or less, I look it over, see if it's repairable, ask the cobblers if I need to, and I write them up a quote and instructions on how to send it to us. They send it in to us. Once we get it, we send them an email that we've got it. Our cobblers repair it, and then once we're all finished, we call them for payment and ship it back out to them.
Okay, so they must really like these shoes, boots, because they're paying to have it sent in, which is not cheap. They're always heavy.
Yeah.
They pay you to fix it, and they have to pay to get it sent back. So you're probably talking about something like $100 to get a repair done,
at
right?
least that. Sometimes people will send, pay for shipping, pay to get like $10 of stretching maybe, and then, they're paying like $20 to ship it back. So they're spending quite a lot of money on just like the small jobs, but there's just not many shoe repairs around anymore. So
right.
It's hard to find.
Well, good for you. Hey, you have to reach out, to people, and that's how you do it. You make videos on TikTok, put it on YouTube, etc., right?
Yep.
Well, good for you. Thanks for visiting us.
No problem.
Yeah. So the customer base continues to grow due to the knowledge of the 5th generation. This has been Muddy River Gems, brought to you by Dot Foods. I'm Mark McDonald. Thanks for watching.
This episode of Muddy River Gems was brought to you by Dot Foods.